How y'all doing? Welcome to Mind Games Uncut. We are here with my friend Tieesha. I'm gonna say it right. Essex. She gonna correct me with her last name, but well, okay. So let them know who you are. She got her YouTube channel. She's on Facebook. You on Instagram too?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So just let them know who you are.
Greetings. I am Tieesha Essex, and I am the owner of TIEMONEX Defense Solutions. It is a personal defense brand that is geared toward eliminating fearlessness and promoting self-defense and promoting you being a hard target. And that's through concealed carry. I offer a line of holsters. I also offer knives. I encourage the carry of tourniquets. My YouTube channel is pretty much dedicated to everything. I talk about everything from healthy living, different current events, things that impact not only me as a Black woman, but also my community as well. It's an honor to be here with you, Brother Mays, to talk about the importance of self defense and, why we should practice, our own, be our own first responder. That was actually my first, motto for my company: be your own first responder. And that comes from, my background. I was in the Navy. After that, I was unemployed for 28 days. Became a police officer where I served for over 6 years. I have my undergrad in psychology, but most importantly, I'm dedicated to the betterment of the Black community, which is where I come from, and I want to ensure that I leave this place a better place for not only my children, my grandchildren, my great grands, and so on, and my neighbors' children.
Exactly. And that's good with your background being ex law enforcement. Because you said you're not a police. That's
I ain't 12 no more. All right.
exactly. Just knowing that you know the law. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times we don't know the law, we don't understand the law. And I talk to my sons a lot about certain things, about far as like when they driving, if they get pulled over. Now let me ask you a question real quick. So I told my son, I got two sons, I got 125 and I got 119, and they're young adults. But I tell them when anytime a cop get behind you, is it wrong for them to, even the police hit his lights, can they drive to where some lights at, where a store with cameras? Can they tell the cop that they fear for their life with everything going on right now? Could they say that? I know they might get a cop that might be, one of them other cops, race soldiers, but still, would it be in their best interest to drive somewhere with lights and cameras?
And that is a big worry nowadays. Being a Black person and on a traffic stop, one thing that flashes through my mind all the time is how we watched our brother Philando Castile take his last breaths in 4G, you know? And being a mother of a Black son, I have a son who's getting ready to get his driver's license. And I fear for these things, because with him, when he sees a police officer, he sees mommy. He sees mommy and how mommy acts, how mommy responds to people, how he's so calm around me.
Exactly.
And I know that he's not special being, the son of a police officer, the son of two Navy veterans. He's seen as a threat.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate, but it happens. I just recorded a video, talking about how to travel while legally armed and Black. I have that on my YouTube channel in honor of our fallen brother, Philando Castile. And I made that video because not only am I a Black woman that carries a driver's license and sits myself in the driver's seat of my vehicle nearly every day, I'm not exempt from a traffic stop. And I want to empower drivers to have the upper hand. And
Exactly.
having the upper hand is not a bad thing. I want to teach you how to psychologically analyze the officer that's approaching you. You base your reactions on, the threats perceived. And one thing that I heard a lot about as a police officer was pre-assault indicators. We're told to look for these pre-assault indicators of fight or flight of whoever we're encountering. Well, I want the citizen to do that as well, you know? And wow. um, just to, if when you're pulled over and you want to be in an area where you have a better chance of having witnesses and that it increases your chances of survival, that also increases the officer's chances of survival. the officer should, direct you to a safe place. And what I would advise is to once you notice that they have how we call it in Cincinnati, the burps and blueberries on you, you go ahead and immediately decrease your speed to show that you're not fleeing. Go ahead and put on your flashers if you possibly can. Also, if you wish, a lot of cars and a lot of cell phones are hooked up to the Bluetooth in their vehicle. Go ahead and hit, if you're on the highway, *77 for state patrol, or 911 if you're within city limits, and you can advise that dispatcher, hey, I'm being pulled over on a traffic stop. This is my location. This is the color of my vehicle. Can you please advise that officer that I'm pulled over somewhere where it is safe? Because we still have the threat of police impersonators. So that's not a bad thing to do. Of course, I can't advise you what to do. You have to follow the law, but I advise showing signs that you are complying with that direct order to comply with that traffic stop. Immediately decrease your speed, hit those flashers. If it's after dark, hit on those dome lights and call dispatch.
So did she have your ID, your insurance card on the dashboard? I know they say that's what you should do, or before the cop actually come to the door. That's
See, me, I am against reaching around the vehicle. I really am. And that's because being a citizen who does carry a firearm on me, I would say 99.99% of the time I have a firearm on me. So I do not want to reach around, nor do I even want to, follow the officer's orders to reach for them. Because more than likely, I have a firearm in that location, and I do not want to end up like our fallen brother Philando Castile.
mhm.
Your registration, your license plate is connected to your driver's license. That license plate tells the color of your vehicle, make and model. It also tells if it's valid. It also tells you who the driver is, the registered owner. If I'm the registered owner in my vehicle, I'm going to say, hey, my name is Tieesha Essex. I am the registered owner of this vehicle. It will come back to me. One simple check with dispatch, the officer can say, can you run the driver for valid? And find out if I'm valid or not. Or I can provide you with my social, my date of birth, and my name. And most likely a picture comes up, which is why you take a picture at the DMV.
Exactly.
Not producing a registration, not producing a driver's license. In my jurisdiction, it was a $10 fine in court.
Wow.
No officer should be that petty to want to write you a $10 ticket.
Exactly.
I hated going to court on my days off. So I don't want to go to court for a $10 ticket. But you can produce these things in court. That's why Neely Fuller Jr., the great elder of the United Independent Compensatory Code concept, says to not fuss, fight, or flee when you're having an encounter with a law enforcement officer. You can show that at the time of that traffic stop, if that traffic stop happened today, July 18th, and my insurance was valid, it's valid for what, 6 months. So it's valid from March until September. It shows that I was insured, and I'll just show that in court and possibly walk straight out. But I'm going to survive that traffic stop.
Oh wow. So I'm getting another question. I know we talk all air about certain groups that's we have certain gun clubs like InFact and stuff like that. Now they came to Stone Mountain, which I think that was real powerful and that was epic.
Mhm,
They actually came down to Brunswick when our brother Arbery got killed. Uh,
mhm.
so do we need brothers and sisters, like certain gun clubs, like if it seems like the cops are not doing their job, should we go down there like that, like we did, and defend our people? Or is that a crime? I mean, they're legally they can carry arms. They what amendment that is? You can carry right to carry your arms. It's nothing wrong with that, as long as you doing it the right way, right?
Second Amendment.
Second amendment.
Absolutely. Like with me, I own firearms because I am an American citizen. I'm
Mhm.
a citizen. I'm legally able to. And I use it as a form of self-defense. I don't go out and pick a fight with someone or go use it to intimidate someone or to go brandish it, things like that. It's for my self-defense. It's for my personal defense.
Exactly.
And with the Black community, Black Americans in general, we have been taught to be nonviolent against those who are violent with us, and that has led to our demise. It has led to us being chased out of our cities, off of our lands. We're both here in Georgia. You know the history of Forsyth County, where
Yep.
they decided we want all blacks out of town by midnight. And there's actually a documentary that's on YouTube. It's called Banished,
Mm-hmm.
where descendants of African Americans who were forced, even murdered, to leave their lands here in Forsyth, not here that we live in, but in Forsyth County in Georgia, they
Exactly.
just went and they own their land. They don't have their land no more. They were chased out of town because they did not have the power of self defense. And
Exactly.
I believe that is a strong display and encouraging self defense. Self defense over fear, and that's my whole mission. Like, you have to defend what you have. It doesn't give you the right to go out and be a bully. It also doesn't give you the right to go out, and just do things unjust. But you have a right. The Constitution allows you the very right to defend yourself. So, absolutely, that was a beautiful display of of self defense and the capacity to do so.
When they went to take it out, that was so, like you saw the brothers and sisters. It was like hundreds of them. I forgot what the number was, but it was a lot, and you didn't see no white people in sight because I think it was a threat, right? The Klan said they was gonna start killing black people. I think they said like around 8 o'clock. So the brother of the infant, he said, "Y'all gonna start killing us at 8. We're gonna start shooting y'all at 8:05." And no, because like I said, people think black people are always nice. We are forgiving people. That's one of our weakness, I think. Um, and I say that a lot on my podcast. But I see that it's a paradigm shift now. And
Hmm.
we always been here, the ones who want to defend themselves. I just think it was a certain time we had to come out, and the time is now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get crazy out there now. You know it's about to get crazy. We live in crazy time with the pandemic going on, the pandemic and the COVID. I mean, I know I should probably not shouldn't have said that, but a lot of people believe that, and you got a lot of white militias. They're acting a fool right now, so we got to be prepared. We got to, understand survival. We're in survival mode right now. It ain't just black people and white. It's all other races, Asians, you know what I'm saying? Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what's going on right now. That's my opinion on it. Like, how you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's one place in Georgia that I have not visited. Like, I'm trying to get out and explore, but of course, you have to practice situational awareness. And there's some great brothers who are telling me, like, hey, if you want to go here, hit me up. I will make sure that you are safe, because you have to put your self defense, your personal protection and safety, priority.
Exactly.
And like we've always been taught, there's safety in numbers.
That's it.
There's times where I'm solo, but many times I have solid people around me, and we know our capabilities, we know our limitations, but we also practice strong situational awareness. And situational awareness is really strong, because that's what led me to. Well, I won't say led me, but when I purchased my first firearm, I didn't purchase it. You know, um, my son's father got me my first firearm because we were both active duty. He was going out on deployment for up to 6 months, and he wanted to ensure that I was able to be safe and protect this house, or not this, but the household in his absence, because I also had our young child, and you protect what you love and what you value.
Exactly.
And yes, it just to me, I saw that it was a strong display of wanting to protect what's valuable. And with us, like me being a black woman looking for my protection, I find that in my black man. I say, hey, me and the children are worried and we're scared. It's up to the black man to let us know that he has it under control. So that was a beautiful display of capabilities.
And I was gonna say that too. Like, do you feel the black one? If you as a black woman, do you feel protected by the black man?
Absolutely do. absolutely do. And that was the reason why I moved to Georgia. I was here last year, and everywhere I wanted to go, everywhere I went, I rarely carried my gun with me because I had a solid brother with me.
Good,
I,
good.
and so, and when I went back up to Washington, I just moved here from Washington State. I just felt just so vulnerable, and it was evident because things would happen, and I talk about that on my channel. I have a video about sundown towns and things like that. The odds were stacked against me. And so being here in Georgia, I just want to say, I love you. Is this your home
Yeah,
state, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
just want to say thank you. And I love the brothers from here in Georgia because they have this this strong urge to protect, to be vigilant, to care for their women, and I absolutely love it. There's not a time where I walk into my car by myself. If it's at a certain hour, they walk into my car, ensure I got home safe. Just everything. During the COVID, I had a ton of support. Like, hey, Tieesha, are you okay? And that's it. I feel totally protected, and I'm grateful to be here in Georgia because it's been on display pretty much every day that I've been here, and I thank the brothers of Georgia, and I thank their mothers and fathers for raising such fine gentlemen.
So yeah, we got no doubt. When it comes to the A, I got you got some stuff you want to show. Some of your equipment, some of the stuff some of your weapons. I guess you want to show. You
As
better.
far as weapons, I'm really into history. I'm really into the mentality, the ways of our ancestors, how they survived being here. My maternal side is from Flat Rock, Georgia, in the Covington, Georgia area. That's where my maternal side comes from. And when I go back and look at different things that were written, different stories that were passed down, they had land here to protect their land. And one of the stories that is just so cool, and I'm trying to embody the ways of my great grandmother and my foremothers, was that I have a fear of snakes. Okay, I fear snakes. So the one thing that I was told that was a necessity, that you must have is a good machete.
Wow.
You see a snake, you chop the head off, and you keep on going.
Wow, boy, Black Panther sister guy. I know. They made out of
So,
vibranium.
say that one more time.
They made out of vibranium.
Hey, I don't
Wow.
know about that, but yeah, this gonna keep the peace. But yeah, I advise everybody, to ensure you have a good machete, a good backup weapon.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's not a weapon; it's a tool. Machete is a tool. It was used to chop down sugar cane, stuff like that. But a machete is a good tool, and you never know when you may need one. One of the ways you could is if you don't want to make noise, like firing off a round is loud. But if
Exactly.
you had to like take up a snake real quick, you may be in the city limits where you can't fire and go ahead and chop the snake up or something.
The snake.
Yes, but a good machete, shout out to my ancestors, is paramount. Of course, I'm going to talk to you about two things that I offer in my store, TIEMONEX.shop. You see it right there, TIEMONEX.shop. Is I advise everyone to carry a tourniquet. And I did not know just how important a tourniquet was. Now, when I was coming up through the military, when we did our combat first aid and stuff like that, if you have like a bleeding limb or something like that, they said, well, oh, get your belt, get your shoestring, but they actually have a tourniquet.
Hmm.
And so what this tourniquet is if you're, let's say I have some kind of like wound and I'm bleeding profusely from here, I can save my own life. I can save myself from bleeding out by applying this tourniquet. And you can, save your own life, in a matter of seconds. So if I was bleeding out here, I have my tourniquet to secure that. Then you have a windlass, you tighten it up, and you stop that bleeding. You could possibly save your own limb, save your own life, because nowadays active shooter situations are becoming common and common. Thankfully, with the schools being closed, we haven't had any school shootings, which our children have been at their safest in decades. So it wouldn't hurt to throw one of these and teach your children how to use the tourniquet to not only save their life, but possibly save a close friend or a teacher or something. Had should they be unfortunately become a victim of an active shooter or even an accidental shooting. So it's very important. So that's why I have this tourniquet and holster available in my Tiemonix store.
You got your own store that you sell. Not okay. Yeah, no, they got
Yes. And I
definitely.
also have a video here on YouTube and also on my Instagram that, shows you how to use it. And you get better with repetition. That's how you overcome those nerves. You go ahead and put it on.
Wow.
Also, in my store, I offer a 3-in-1 knife. A knife is a tool. A knife is not a weapon. It can be used as a weapon, but a knife is manufactured to be a tool. So in my Tiemonix store, I offer this 3-in-1 knife. It has a window breaker. Right now, it was in the 90s here in Georgia. So let's say that, someone accidentally locked their child or their pet in the car, waiting on Papa Lock, that child can die. You use this, break out that window, get in there and save that life. It's also a seatbelt cutter. If you're in a crash and that seatbelt does not come off and you need to get out of that vehicle, you have this on you. You can cut yourself out of that seatbelt, use this window breaker, get yourself out of that window to safety. And it's also a knife, okay? A knife is a tool. A knife's also a weapon. Do what you gotta do, but 3-in-1, okay?
Good. Good.
And I also offer an array of holsters as well, from belly band holsters that have been selling like hotcakes, since the death of our brother, Ahmaud Arbery. You should not be fearful running around your own neighborhood to exercise. You're not a threat. So, I wish that our brother had some form of defense on him and trained, but not another one. Okay. You will not be in fear exercising in your neighborhood. So my belly band holsters have been doing great, and they are available at TIEMONEX.shop.
We're most definitely gonna put it in the description. Yeah, man. My sponsors.
Thank you.
No, we're
And
giving it
and you
free.
can save 10% if you use the coupon code Justice. Save 10%.
We're most definitely gonna put it in there. Yeah, we're gonna make you one of our sponsors.
Yes.
We need that in our community. Let me see. Any other questions? So that's all your items you got to show.
I have a vast amount of other ones. Of course, people are asking me about firearms arms classes. This here is a safe and empty Glock. So I am working with a brother who has some land out in Middle Georgia to get together and do some courses on self defense, just building those fundamental skills to our new firearms owners. We want to take the fear and intimidation of going to a gun range and you have to obey their rules and you have to do certain things. That some people are just not good teachers. Just because you shoot a gun really good doesn't make you a good instructor or a good teacher. So I'm working with a brother on getting some classes and courses started up. So stand by for that, okay? And yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The Glock, boy. I'm like, hey, so,
My new baby and my baby's name. Like, let me introduce everybody to my baby,
wow,
David Banner. Okay, it's my baby,
wow.
David Banner.
So what is
That's
it?
my baby.
That's a Glock too.
This is a Glock, not a Glock, a Gen 5 Glock 19.
Oh wow, wow.
Yes.
How many
So
that
this,
put in the magazine? How many that holds?
it varies. You can buy different magazines. I have a magazine that holds 33 rounds. It depends on what you get. It depends.
Because they ain't playing.
It depends on what you get. You can get a drum. You can really do a lot, and that's one thing I want to get. Help share the education on firearms. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to own one and to know. Learning your weapon, learning what you can do. Just really mastering. Sight pictures, sight alignment, getting your rounds where you want them to go. I know there are some competition shooters. It's a whole art, and also for survival. Let's say Kroger's or Publix shut down. You got to go out there, into the woods and get you a deer,
Exactly.
and get a rifle. It's really an art, and I absolutely love it. And I feel as though our community is deprived of that because not only do we live in city limits, how I grew up in Cincinnati, we caught the bus everywhere. The bus ain't gonna take you to go hunting. So you miss out on these, important life skills. And so that's why I want to do my part to educate us to, do these great things with weapons and self-defense and protection.
Exactly. We was definitely gonna do a lot of those on this because I've been talking about survival and learning how to use firearms and stuff like that. I've been trying to link up with you, so we finally got our first one out the way. Anything else you want to tell anybody before we get off?
Really quick, like with the COVID, like this whole COVID situation,
Oh,
I've been preparing for this. Like, oh my gosh. I used to watch these shows called like Doomsday Preppers and stuff like that. But I'm chilling and cooling and chilling. And one thing that the black community, us as black people, have in our advantage is that we're used to the struggle. It's sad and unfortunate because of the economic position we've been placed in, but we are the best to adapt to survival situations. So the cards are already in our favor. Um, if I could, show some things real quick. Like I just moved across country, so I had to like restock a lot of things.
okay.
But being here in Georgia, I want to, start hunting and fishing, get a group together and go camping. I just, highly encourage us, get comfortable with our surroundings. Also get out of our comfort zone. One of the things that I purchased recently, this year, I watched a show called Naked and Afraid. I watched Naked and Afraid. So one of the things I bought was a fire starter.
They be naked.
Huh?
They be naked for real.
Yeah, Naked and Afraid. You can watch it. It comes on Discovery. They are booty butt cheeks, and they out there have to survive out in the woods for 21 days.
Well, I hope you don't get poison ivy, but in the wrong place.
You're gonna get hooked on that show. You're gonna get hooked. My college professor got me hooked on that show years ago. But I purchased a fire starter so that you can learn how to make fire. We get so used to a lighter or the stove to cook our food. But a fire starter.
Okay.
First aid. I talked about that with the tourniquets. But right now, at the height of the COVID, they said don't go to the hospital. Don't come here. So you have to be able to treat minor ailments at home. So I picked up some finger splints, specifically because the body is a wonderful thing. It can overcome. I done been through some stuff, proud disabled veteran, you know what I'm saying? Like I done been through some bumps, bruises, and got through it. But you have to be able to triage yourself and do first aid. Another item I purchased was this life straw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shout out to all the city engineers who still work to keep our toilets flushing and water running and lights on, during this whole COVID, the real essential workers, And another thing I purchased was like an emergency blanket. It wouldn't hurt to have these things in your car or, things like that. I don't really per se have a bug out bag, but these are things that I would recommend you have around the house to be self-sufficient. But when it comes to survival and self-defense, being your own first responder, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, so that's all the stuff. I ain't never think about that right there, having those spinners and stuff like that. So that's good, man. So we'll make sure we let everybody know about your store. They got support black-owned businesses. That's what we all about.
And I thank everybody for their support. Thank you for what you're doing as well. Thank you for this platform because I was listening to you during the COVID.
Hey, that's what's up. Well, definitely have you one of the sponsors because I want to make sure let people know that we should always buy from each other, especially with something like that. I think you got other black guns companies and stuff like that. But since I know you, we're gonna support you.
Thank you. Yes, I've also connected with some great people. Like it's sad it took the COVID for us to realize the resources that we do have.
Yeah.
But now that it has hope and it has happened, it has opened our eyes to knowing just what our necessities are and how to thrive and to access each other. So thank you.
Exactly. So we're gonna get up out of here. I gotta do my podcast at 9,
Yes.
but I gotta meet at 8. But we're gonna do another actually another show. We're gonna talk more about what you do and some things I'm trying to put together too. And we're gonna link up. I want to actually do like a little documentary or something. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get up out of here, y'all, and make sure give me your information again on your YouTube channel.
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Tieesha Essex, spelled right here. You can also visit me at TieshaEssex.com. You can email me at info@TieshaEssex.com, Tieesha.Essex at Gmail. And just find me. I'm everywhere and I'm totally approachable. And I love the support that's been coming in. So I look forward to video suggestions, ideas, questions, and for us to continue building. I love Georgia. I love Atlanta because everybody's just about their networking and building. So I'm in the right place. I thank you, Brother Mays, for this.
Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna do a lot of business together.
Yes.
All right, y'all, we're about to get up out of here and we will see her again. So make sure y'all go to her YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. You got both, all that, Twitter.
Yes, all that.
Good, good. All
And
right.
they'll be seeing you on my channel because, yes, I love your messages and I love your insights. So you'll be seeing this brother on my channel. Okay.
My brother needs some help out here. All right, y'all. Check y'all out. See y'all later. Peace.
See ya.